A young man once walked up to billionaire investor Charlie Munger with a very specific problem. He wanted to know the fastest possible way to build a net worth of 50 crores without having any current business ideas. Munger smiled and offered a highly specific piece of advice. Do not spend a single second thinking about 50 crores. This shows how the human brain naturally expects progress to look. We are wired to project our future in a flat, straight line, assuming that our wealth will grow at the exact same painfully slow speed tomorrow as it does today. Let's track a standard, disciplined investor on this chart. If you invest 12,000 rupees a month into a systematic investment plan, a standard method of automatically investing a fixed amount regularly, and you secure a 20% annual return, it will take you exactly 14 years to reach your first 1 crore. This is where our brain betrays us. An investor looks at that 14-year climb, does the math in their head, and assumes the next 4 crores will take another 56 years. They conclude they'll be far too old to actually enjoy the money. Because of this linear trap, 90% of people abandon their wealth journey at the very base of the climb. They look at the sheer length of the timeline, convince themselves it's mathematically impossible, and choose immediate gratification instead. Benjamin Franklin famously observed that money makes money, but human intuition entirely fails to grasp what happens to the money that money makes. Look back at our chart after that 14-year slog. The mathematical engine of compounding takes over. Your second crore takes only 4 years. Because your base amount is larger, the third arrives in 2 years. Soon, it generates a new crore every few months, entirely independent of active labor. Look at this diagram. If the mathematics of compounding are a guaranteed reality, you have to ask why every single long-term worker isn't incredibly wealthy. It's because building wealth requires an intersection of 3 distinct assets: time, capital, and knowledge. Injecting capital into the system without knowledge guarantees destruction. In 2011, a man named Sushil Kumar won 5 crores on an Indian game show. He had the capital and he had the time, but without the financial literacy to manage it, he lost everything and returned to selling milk. The exponential math of compounding is useless if the investor lacks the foundational knowledge to survive the 14-year wait required to turn the engine on. Even when you understand the math, the first decade feels like absolutely nothing is happening. To stay in the market while your progress is invisible, you have to ignore your natural instincts and reprogram how you view your own reality. The industrialist Henry Ford summarized this internal battle clearly. Whether you believe you can do a thing or not, you are right. If your subconscious belief is weak, you will inevitably sabotage your capital. When the market experiences inevitable crashes and corrections, it triggers pure panic. Your brain desperately wants to alleviate that anxiety. It rationalizes failure by convincing you to pull your profits out early or sell your assets at a loss, simply to make the discomfort stop. You create the exact financial failure you were afraid of. Conversely, an investor who has trained their subconscious to expect long-term growth sees the exact same market drop, remains perfectly calm, and uses the opportunity to buy more assets at lower prices. People blame the stock market when they lose their money, but the market itself rarely defeats an investor. It is their own uncalibrated mindset that shatters their strategy and knocks them out of the game. That first 1 crore serves as a demonstration of self-control. It is a filter that separates those who can master their impulses from those who are entirely controlled by them. We live in an environment built to distract. Social media demands that you prove your status today with luxury cars, expensive clothes, and immediate consumption. By participating, people trade their long-term, permanent freedom for a few moments of visible luxury. Choosing not to participate hurts. Cutting your expenses, facing the doubt of your peers, and watching everyone around you celebrate while your portfolio slowly crawls upward feels incredibly restrictive. But here is the grand trade-off. The intense sacrifices required during that initial climb are strictly temporary. The exponential compounding reward you earn by staying the course is permanent. Once you reach the peak, the active struggle ends. You no longer have to push the money uphill. The capital itself generates the momentum, and your portfolio begins to pull you forward effortlessly. Mindset, discipline, and belief are the actual foundations of that first crore. The money in the account is simply the physical evidence of your endurance.